Southern Railfan is the place for amazing videos of all types of trains. Southern Railfan, subscribe today.
Okie dokie, we're getting our day started off here at Jacktown, waiting on northbound M652. And I hope he hurries up because something is past its prime around here somewhere and it stinks. But it's a good sunlight place here for the train, so we'll catch him. Hopefully he's pretty quick. He's a shorty, only got 40 cars on him. Sweet! Alrighty, hopefully we can catch something else today. Okie dokie, guys. Friday is getting closer and closer to us, and that is when the federal mandated cooling off period, I think is what they call it, between the railroad companies and the unions ends. So there's a possibility anytime after midnight on Friday night we could see a railroad strike. And the last time we seen a railroad strike was 30 years ago with Bush as president, and I think that only lasted about 3 days till the government got involved with it, because railroad strikes can be catastrophic for the economy. Obviously, I mean, the rails transport probably a third or better of all freight in the United States, and this strike, of course, I'm a big rail fan, and you guys are too, so you kind of feel for the guys that are out there working. And it's the simplest of things. They're wanting to be able to modify, if not get rid of, the points system, so they can go, unpaid. They're not asking to get paid to take time off, but to be able to go to doctor's appointments, family emergencies, and that kind of thing. I'm not sure exactly how the point system works, but obviously you get points for missing days of work, and I guess if it adds up to a certain amount, then you get canned. So we're hoping this works out for our guys that we see out there and get those waves and horn salutes from. Very rarely does the railroad strike over wages. It's most of the time it's rules that they're worried about. Reduction in crews, safety, that kind of thing. And but railroad strikes have been going on as long as the railroad's been around. Now, in the early days, they wielded a lot of power. Railroads could do just about anything they wanted to do as far as striking and getting what they wanted. We work 8 hours a day. It's because of a railroad strike. I mean, they've shut down the city of Chicago in the early days, burned Pittsburgh to the ground. I mean, railroad strikes in the past have been a huge ordeal. And that lasted up till I think 1925 or 26 or so, when Congress set rules about strikes and what they could do and what they couldn't do. So that's modified it a little bit, but they can still walk off the job, and it would be crazy. And if you look at it, it's the strangest of things that would affect me and you. Obviously, we wouldn't see any trains, and that would be devastating. But stuff like drinking water, stuff you don't really think about. You think about coal, automobiles going from one place to the next. There's CSX dispatcher talking to that northbound man we missed. But chlorine that goes to clean your water to where you can drink it. Let me cut this down a little bit. Would be affected negatively. All of a sudden you don't have any water to drink. That's not good. And obviously coal for power production, for cooling and heating, ethanol for gas. Major commodities, you wouldn't see it immediately. You would see it later on, like grain and feed and that kind of thing would affect future crops. So you'd wind up paying a ton of money for stuff in the future. So anyway, when you go to bed tonight, say your prayers, add both sides into that prayer. Pray for the railroad companies, that they'll have some understanding and realize that there's people with boots on the ground that have a life. This is not all about shareholders and how much money you can wring out of a man on 12 hours. And pray for these guys that are out there on the trains. I mean, I'd hate to have a young family or an old family or bills or whatever, and not knowing whether your livelihood's going to be there and having it in somebody else's hands. So, guys, if you're watching, we all love you and we stand behind you, and we hope this works out for the best. And I'm going to pray, and I'm sure it will. So, let's check out another train. Okie dokie. It's about 20 minutes till 5, and we moseyed over here to Moody Town to catch a southbound man. I've just heard the defect detectors go off. Hadn't heard him call a signal yet, but I have no idea what he is. And I know there's a northbound just come into Bostic and one waiting to come in off the Charlotte side. I believe that Charlotte side is the B650. I'm not sure if we'll catch either one of those this afternoon, but we'll definitely catch this southbound man. Okie dokie. Like I said, while I was running my mouth a while ago, we missed a northbound, man. I think it's the M692, or it could have been that empty ethanol train B650, but you know, you can't catch them all. But we'll try to catch some more tomorrow, and we'll see you then.